the town that vanished overnight, the astonishing true story of Centralia, America's underground fire in the heart of Pennsylvania. Deep within the coal-rich hills of America, there once stood a thriving mining town. Children rode bicycles through quiet streets. Families gathered at churches every Sunday. Store owners greeted customers by name. The town seemed destined to survive for generations. Yet today, most of that town no longer exists. Roads crack open without warning. Steam rises mysteriously from the ground. Toxic gases escape from hidden fissures. Entire neighborhoods have disappeared. Nature has reclaimed what people abandoned. And beneath it all, a fire continues to burn. Not for days, not for months, not for years, for decades. This is the astonishing true story of Centralia, the American town destroyed by a fire that may continue burning for another century. Chapter 1. A town built on black gold. The story begins in the 19th century. Pennsylvania possessed one of the richest anthracite coal regions in the world. Anthracite was known as hard coal, prized for its high energy content and clean burning qualities. When vast coal deposits were discovered beneath the forests of eastern Pennsylvania, mining companies rushed into the region. One of the settlements that emerged was Centralia. Founded in the 1840s, the town quickly grew into a prosperous mining community. Railroads connected it to major cities. Coal from Centralia helped fuel factories, railways, homes, and industries throughout America. By the late 19th century, thousands of people lived there. Immigrant families arrived from Ireland, Poland, Ukraine, Italy, and other European nations. They came seeking work and opportunity. Life was not easy. Coal mining was dangerous. Explosions, cave-ins, and toxic gases claimed lives regularly. Yet the mines provided steady employment for many families. Centralia represented hope. Children attended local schools. Businesses flourished. Church bells rang across the valley. The town appeared secure. No one realized that beneath their feet lay the seed of a future catastrophe. Chapter 2. The fire nobody feared. By the middle of the 20th century, coal production had begun to decline. Many mines closed. Abandoned tunnels stretched for miles beneath the town. Some were forgotten entirely. Then came the event that changed everything. In May 1962, local officials faced a simple problem. A landfill near the town cemetery needed cleaning before Memorial Day celebrations. Trash had accumulated in a pit. The solution seemed straightforward. Burn it. Workers set the garbage on fire, expecting the flames to extinguish naturally. Instead, something unexpected happened. The fire spread. Beneath the landfill existed openings connected to old mine shafts. The flames reached exposed coal seams underground. Once coal ignites beneath the earth, extinguishing it becomes extraordinarily difficult. At first, few people worried. Small underground fires had occurred elsewhere. Officials believed the blaze would soon die out. They were wrong, terribly wrong. Chapter 3. The fire goes underground. Weeks passed, then months. The fire continued burning. Attempts were made to extinguish it. Workers dug trenches. Engineers pumped water into mine tunnels. Special materials were injected underground. Nothing worked. The fire moved silently through abandoned coal seams. Because oxygen was available through cracks and old mine passages, combustion continued. Underground, the fire expanded like a living creature. No flames were visible on the surface. Most residents continued daily life. Children played outside. Businesses remained open. Church services continued. Yet hundreds of feet below them, temperatures climbed dramatically. Coal burned relentlessly. The underground maze provided endless pathways. Fire could travel in multiple directions simultaneously. Each year it spread farther. Still, many people believed authorities would eventually stop it. The danger seemed distant, invisible, abstract. The true threat had not yet revealed itself. Chapter 4. Warning signs. By the 1970s, strange events began occurring. Residents noticed unusual odors. Warm ground appeared in unexpected locations. Snow melted quickly in certain areas during winter. Steam occasionally rose from cracks. Some homeowners reported elevated temperatures in basements. Scientists investigated. Their findings were alarming. Carbon monoxide and other dangerous gases were escaping from the underground fire. Measurements revealed temperatures far above normal. The fire was advancing beneath portions of the town. Officials discussed solutions, but the problem had become far larger than anyone initially imagined. The underground mine network extended for miles. Stopping the fire would require enormous excavation projects. Costs skyrocketed. Government agencies debated possible responses. Meanwhile, the fire continued its relentless march. Every day, every hour, every minute, the coal burned. Chapter 5. The gas station incident. One event finally attracted national attention. In 1979, a local gas station owner decided to check the fuel level in an underground storage tank. When he lowered a measuring stick into the tank, he received a terrifying surprise. The gasoline temperature measured approximately 172 degrees Fahrenheit, 78 degrees Celsius. Fuel underground should not be that hot. The extreme heat indicated that the fire was moving closer. News spread quickly. Residents became concerned. Scientists conducted additional surveys. Their conclusions were increasingly grim. The underground blaze was not slowing, it was growing. Authorities realized the town faced a long-term crisis, yet many residents refused to leave. Centralia was their home. Their families had lived there for generations. Abandoning it seemed unimaginable. Chapter 6. The day the ground opened. Then came the incident that shocked America. In February 1981, 12-year-old Todd Domboski was playing in his grandmother's backyard. Without warning, the ground collapsed beneath him. A sinkhole suddenly opened. The boy plunged downward. Hot steam and toxic gases poured from the opening. For a horrifying moment, it appeared he might disappear into the earth. Fortunately, a relative managed to pull him to safety. The sinkhole measured several feet across. Investigators discovered dangerously high carbon monoxide concentrations emerging from below. The event became national news. Suddenly, the danger was no longer theoretical. The fire was literally consuming the ground beneath residents' homes. Public opinion shifted dramatically. Many people who had previously dismissed concerns now recognized the seriousness of the situation. The town's future hung in the balance. Chapter 7. Government intervention. Following the sinkhole incident, federal and state officials intensified their involvement. Experts evaluated multiple options. Could the fire still be extinguished? Could barriers contain it? Could residents remain safely? Study after study reached similar conclusions. The fire had advanced too far. Stopping it would cost hundreds of millions of dollars with no guarantee of success. Relocating residents appeared more practical. In 1984, the United States government approved funding for a relocation program. Homeowners received offers to move elsewhere. Some accepted immediately. Others resisted fiercely. To many residents, Centralia was not merely real estate. It was identity, memory, community, history. Leaving meant abandoning generations of family heritage. The emotional conflict became intense. Neighbors disagreed. Families argued. Some packed their belongings and departed. Others vowed never to leave. Chapter 8. A town divided as years passed. Centralia transformed. Entire streets became empty. Vacant houses stood abandoned. Many structures were demolished. Schools closed. Businesses disappeared. Population numbers fell dramatically. Yet a determined group of residents remained. They challenged relocation efforts. They argued the government exaggerated dangers. Some insisted the fire would never reach their properties. Others simply loved their town too much to leave. Journalists from across America visited Centralia. Television crews documented the eerie landscape. The town became famous. People arrived to witness the strange phenomenon firsthand. They found deserted streets, empty lots, steam emerging from the earth, a community slowly vanishing. The contrast was haunting. A place once full of life now seemed frozen in time. Chapter 9. The battle over property. Legal disputes continued for years. Authorities sought to acquire remaining properties. Some residents fought back in court. The conflict became complicated. On one side stood government agencies concerned about public safety. On the other stood citizens determined to defend their homes. Court cases stretched over decades. Certain residents won temporary victories, others eventually relocated. The population continued shrinking. Hundreds became dozens, dozens became fewer still. Yet the fire remained active beneath the ground, unseen, unstoppable, persistent. The underground blaze became one of the longest-running environmental disasters in American history. Chapter 10. The Highway of Smoke, perhaps the most famous symbol of Centralia. Its destruction was a section of Route 61. As the fire spread beneath the roadway, heat damaged the pavement. Large cracks appeared, steam escaped continuously, sections buckled and warped. Drivers reported unsettling conditions. Eventually, authorities closed the highway. The abandoned roadway became an attraction. Visitors walked along the fractured asphalt. Graffiti artists covered the surface with colorful messages. The scene looked almost post-apocalyptic. Photographs circulated worldwide. Many people compared the landscape to a disaster movie. Eventually, much of the damaged highway was removed. Yet images of the graffiti highway became iconic. They helped transform Centralia into an international symbol of environmental catastrophe. Chapter 11. Science beneath the surface: what exactly happens during an underground coal fire? The answer is fascinating. Coal can ignite through various mechanisms. Once burning underground, the fire receives oxygen through cracks, shafts, and tunnels. Heat generated by combustion dries surrounding coal. This allows the fire to spread. Temperatures can exceed 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The process releases numerous gases. Some are toxic, others contribute to environmental damage. The fire can travel slowly but steadily through extensive coal deposits. Unlike surface fires, underground coal fires are extraordinarily difficult to access. Engineers cannot simply spray water on them. The burning zone may extend hundreds of feet below ground. In Centralia's case, abandoned mines created ideal conditions for long-term combustion. The fire essentially gained access to a vast underground fuel supply. As long as coal and oxygen remain available, burning can continue. This explains why the disaster has persisted for so many decades. Chapter 12. Inspiration for horror. Centralia. Eerie appearance attracted filmmakers, writers, and game designers. The town inspired elements of fictional horror settings. Its empty streets, underground fire, and toxic atmosphere seemed almost unreal. Many observers compared the landscape to scenes from nightmares. Fog drifted through abandoned areas. Steam emerged unexpectedly. The ground itself appeared alive. Creative artists found the imagery irresistible. The story demonstrated how reality can sometimes appear stranger than fiction. Visitors often described feeling unsettled, even during daylight. Centralia possessed an unusual atmosphere. The silence felt unnatural. The absence of people was striking. Nature gradually reclaimed the abandoned land. Trees grew where houses once stood. Grass covered forgotten foundations. Time erased evidence of a once thriving community. Chapter 13. The human cost numbers tell only part of the story. The greatest loss was not property, it was community. Families scattered across different towns and states. Neighborhood friendships ended. Local traditions disappeared. Church congregations shrank. Businesses closed permanently. Children who once played together grew up elsewhere. The social fabric unraveled. For former residents, memories remained powerful. Many recalled a close-knit community where everyone knew one another. They remembered school events, holiday celebrations, and family gatherings. The fire destroyed more than buildings. It disrupted lives. Even decades later, former residents continued sharing stories about the town they lost. Their memories preserved a version of Centralia that no longer existed. Chapter 14. Why the fire still burns. One question fascinates scientists and visitors alike. Why hasn't the fire gone out? The answer lies in scale. The coal seam involved is extensive. The underground mine network is complex. Multiple burning zones exist. Excavating the entire affected area would require massive earth-moving operations. Costs would be enormous. Environmental impacts would also be significant. Experts estimate the fire may continue burning for many more decades. Some projections suggest another 100 years or longer. In other words, people living today may never see its conclusion. Future generations may inherit the same ongoing phenomenon. This reality makes Centralia unique. Few disasters persist across centuries, yet this one might. Chapter 15. The remaining residents remarkably, a small number of people continued living in Centralia. Long after most residents left, their presence intrigued journalists. Why stay? Each person had different reasons. Some valued independence, some rejected government decisions, others simply loved their homes. For them, leaving felt like surrender. Over time, special legal arrangements allowed certain residents to remain. The population became tiny compared with the town's former peak, yet the remaining inhabitants represented a stubborn connection to Centralia's past. They witnessed firsthand the transformation from bustling mining town to near-ghost town. Their experiences provided a living link to history. Chapter 16. Lessons for America. Centralia offers important lessons. First, seemingly small mistakes can produce enormous consequences. A routine landfill fire triggered a disaster lasting generations. Second, environmental problems often grow when early warnings are ignored. Initial suppression efforts were delayed and underfunded. As the fire expanded, solutions became increasingly expensive. Third, communities depend on more than infrastructure. When people leave, towns can disappear even before buildings vanish. Finally, Centralia demonstrates humanity's limited ability to control certain forces. Technology accomplishes remarkable things, yet even modern engineering struggles against a massive underground fire. Nature sometimes proves stronger than our plans. Chapter 17. Centralia. Today, visitors encounter a landscape unlike anywhere else in America. Most buildings are gone. Many streets lead nowhere. Forests reclaim former neighborhoods. Warning signs remain in some locations. Monitoring continues. Scientists track temperatures and gas emissions. The fire persists below, invisible but active. The town's population is only a fraction of what it once was. Yet, Centralia continues attracting curious travelers, historians, photographers, and researchers. They come seeking answers. They come seeking mystery. They come to witness one of the strangest places in the United States, and beneath their feet the fire burns on. Conclusion: the town that refused to die. Centralia is more than a ghost town. It is a reminder that history often turns on unexpected moments, a reminder that disasters do not always arrive suddenly. Sometimes they advance slowly, year after year, hidden beneath the surface. What began as a routine trash fire in 1962 evolved into one of the most extraordinary environmental stories in American history. An entire town was displaced. Thousands of lives changed. Millions of tons of coal burned. And more than 60 years later, the fire still survives. Visitors standing in Centralia today may see only quiet roads, empty land, and drifting steam. But beneath that silence lies a remarkable truth. The town may have vanished. The community may have scattered. Yet deep underground, the heart of Centralia still glows, burning, waiting, and reminding America that some fires never truly end.